So maybe you've been getting ready for technical interviews and you've been going through some programming challenges or leak code, trying to get your skills back up to date to pass that secret handshake at tech interviews. Well, maybe you're going through this challenging process, you're trying to look for a new role. It is tough out there. The tech industry is really, really rough. My goodness, it's so rough out there. I haven't seen the industry this bad in such a long time, and so many people are out of work, they're out of jobs, senior engineers, new grads, all across the board. People are looking for new roles, they're losing their roles, they're trying to change, and so many of us are going through these upskilling with these technical interview questions. So in this video, I wanted to walk through a great little FANG popular algorithm question for transforming an array. And this might be considered a warm-up problem that you might be asked in a technical interview. And I thought we would go through this together on JS Fiddle using TypeScript. I'm sorry, JavaScript. We used JavaScript. But we will build it in a React app. And let's see how we put this together, and we can see how it really forms. So I'm here on JS Fiddle. I have a very basic structure for a React app that you can see here. If I run it, it just outputs hello world. So pretty good, right? So let's start this off by, let's just add, maybe first let me show you the problem that we're going to do. That would be good, right? Let's show the problem. So this is a site called Code Signal. They do not sponsor me, so they don't sponsor me, but I think it's a great site because the engineering questions are very much on topic. So the first one is about array manipulation. So you're given an array of input values that you can see right here, and your goal is to transform it into an output by applying rules to each value. So the rule is each value will equal to a of I minus 1, a of I plus a of I plus 1. So all you're doing is you're adding the value before, the current value, and the value after. And that will be the new value for B. Now the trick here is that if you're at index 0, prior value. So in that case, we'll just add 0 for the prior, and then the current, and then the next. Likewise, if you're at the end of the array, there's no next value, so we use 0. So you have to check the bounds of the array as you're iterating across. So to start this off, let's just add a spacer. We're just doing a very simple React component here. We're just going to add a spacer, and let's add in, we're going to get our input, right? So let's see if this is working. If I run this, all right, you got the job. No, we haven't even done much, right? But our React app is functioning, so we have our input header. Add in a text box to actually get that input, right? So we're going to do input type equals text, okay? ID equals text inputs, great. Let's just make sure that renders correctly. Okay, that's looking really good. Yes, yes. We have something coming along. So of course we need to get a change here, so we'll do an on change equals this dot on inputs. Right, that's our React event callback handler. Okay, so now we'll just define that event callback handler. So we'll say on change equals E is the event. And what we'll do here is let's just make sure that we're getting e.currentTarget.value. Let's just make sure that we're getting it. So we run this app, we hit test. Oops, not on change. On inputs, on input. Why didn't you correct me? Chat, help me out here. Okay, let's run it again. Yeah, so there we go. Now we're getting the callback, okay? See that? All right, we're almost there. No, we haven't even written the algorithm yet. So that's great. Now what we want to do is we want to set the input in the state, right? So the way that we do that is we're going to do this dot set state. This way we can actually use the input. This dot set state input equal to e dot current target dot value. And just to make sure that we're getting this, let's use the callback handler from this and just say alert this.state.input. So now we should get the same thing, but now it's being set in the state. Okay, so yep, there you go. It's still working. Okay, so we are fully functional. We do not need this callback handler, so we'll just get rid of it. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now the next thing is we need a submit button. We need a submit button to be able to apply this transformation. So we'll do input type equals button. I always get confused if it's button type equals text or button type equals button. We'll just go with input. You can do a submit button if you like. I'm going to do an input type equals button. ID equals btn submits. And we'll do an on-click event for it, and we'll just say this dot on submits. Okay, we'll give it a value, submit, and close the button, close the input. So if we run this, all right, it's looking good, it's looking good. Now if we hit submit, it'll give an error because we haven't defined the callback handler. So on submit equals e. Let's just alert this dot state dot input. Okay, so if we run this now and we put test, hey, all right. Hello world. All right, it's working. We're having too much fun. The tech interviewers are getting antsy. They don't want to wait for us, right? We're taking too long. Okay, we're taking too long. So we're almost, let's see here, we need an output, right? We need an output. So let's just add the div id equals txt output. We'll just say, we're just going to output this dot state dot outputs. Now, if we run this, we're going to get an error because we haven't defined the state yet, right? That's why it's not rendering. So let's initialize that state right here. This dot state equals output. Just give it an empty string. Now we should be able to run it again. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now I think we're about ready to start implementing this. So what we're going to do is when we hit submit, we're going to run our algorithm. We're going to run our algorithm to transform the array, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's get the output. Actually, here's what we're going to do. Let's define a method for this. Let's call it transform. It's going to take an input, right? And it's going to return an output. So we'll say let output equal an array, return outputs. Okay, so far so good. So we're going to run our algorithm and we're going to say output equals this dot transform, this dot state dot input. We want to transform the input. Once we get that output, we're going to set that into the div by saying this dot set state output. Okay, so that should, I think that's pretty good now. Of course, we can actually see if this works. Just put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we run this, and I just put in test, there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is out, but you know what? We're returning an array. We want that comma separated, so let's just do join on a comma, right? That way we get the string back. So if we just put in test, that's a lot better, right? This output, it's kind of weird. Let's just add some styling to it. Maybe like border, 1 pixel solid. Okay, give it some height. Maybe give it a little bit of margin top. Okay, so that's a lot better. I like that better. We're beautifying just a little bit. Okay, so I think we're ready to start writing the algorithm, right? Like the interviewers, they're probably getting pissed at us right now. Like, you're just playing with React and HTML and CSS. Solve the problem. This is supposed to be the warm-up exercise. Okay, but I don't know, maybe you're getting credit for like building out a React app and styling it. So let's solve the algorithm. So let's copy the input. We know that our input is this. I'm just going to put it here. Right, there's our input. I'm going to get rid of the spaces because we're going to use this. And we start into B, which is this. Okay, get rid of the spaces. Right, get rid of the spaces. Okay. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to say, let's start with b equals 0, right? Because we're going to be adding the values. And because a is, the input is a string that we're getting, right, from the HTML form. So if the user types in like this, right? If the user types this in, we need to, we're going to need to split it because it's a string. So we're going to do input.split on the comma, and then we're going to map it to integers. Now, I always get confused if I can just do parse in here, but I'm just going to do parse in and pass the value. We'll just be explicit. That will convert that string array into an array of integers. Now, once we have that, we can start our loop. So what we're going to do is we're going to iterate over each value of a and transform. Can I spell it right? Transform accordingly. So for let I equals 0 to I is less than a dot length, I plus plus. There's our main loop. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add the current value and the prior value and the next value, right? But we'll check those borders, but let's just start. So b equals a of I. Now we still need to add the prior and the next. So we can do that right here. If a prior value is available, add it. b plus equals. b plus equals, is I greater than 0, right? Are we at least at the second element? Second element. If we are, then we can add it. So we'll say then add in a of I minus 1. Otherwise, add in 0. If a next value, I can't spell. If a next value is available, oh my gosh, I can't type. Add it. So b plus equals is I less than a dot length minus 1. If it is, then add a of I plus 1. Otherwise 0. Finally, push that result onto the output, and then we can return it. Now, I think this might work. I think this might work. Let's copy that. Let's run it. Watch, it'll just give an error. I don't know. What did I forget to do here? Oh, what is this? Is I less than, I typed something wrong here. b plus equals is I less than a dot length minus 1. Then a of I plus 1, otherwise 0. See? Syntax error. Okay, let's paste in that value. And we're missing something. So what are we missing? Outputs. Oh, this isn't, output needs to be an empty array. We had that for testing. That was just for testing initially. Okay, so wait a minute. Wait, don't get too excited yet. Let's join on the comma to make sure we're getting back something realistic. Did it run? Did it run? Okay, paste in that input. Is that it? Is that it? So if we look at 4, 4, 5, 5, -1, -1, 2, 1. Ta-da! You passed, you get the job. So we did it, right? We wrote the transform algorithm. We coded this in a React app, which is pretty darn cool. We have some HTML, but you could probably impress the interviewers by adding a little bootstrap styling. So we could do like bootstrap CDN link. You know, you could go to like this site, you could pick up the CSS, copy that HTML link, head over to your HTML, paste in the HTML link. Oh, maybe take in that JavaScript also. Sure, why not? Paste that in, give your app a run. Wow, it's already looking so much better. Look at that. But we can do more. This class equals container. We could do like on change, we could do like class equals form control for the input, and for the button we could do like class equals btn dash, what is it, default? I don't know. Is it called button default? No, it's not called button default, so I don't know. Bootstrap buttons. What is it called? Primary. Come on, help me out here. Button primary. So we could do like button primary. Now we're talking. How about some typography on that output? Let me see here. What does the output look like? What does the output look like? Okay, so maybe we can add, what can we do with this div? That's kind of, how about an alert? Alert? So we'll do class equals alert primary, right? Put that on the output. Hey, now we're talking. Now we're talking. That's looking even nicer. So if we put that input back in there, that looks pretty good. But let's get that font looking nicer. That font, where's typography? Typography. Let's get a size. That would be perfect. So we'll do display 4. So we'll add that onto the output div. Alert primary, display 4. If we run this, now we're talking. One last thing, the spacing of that submit button, that's really gonna irk me. It's gonna bother me if I end this video without fixing that. So let's just do pound, what did I call it? Pound BTN submit. We'll just add margin top, I don't know, 8 pixels, 10 pixels. Sure, 10 pixels. There you have it. Ta-da! Okay, so that's pretty good. So I like what we have here. I think we've done a lot. So I hope that you've seen that you can use JS Fiddle, you can use your web development, you can create an application along with practicing your LeetCode and HackerRank algorithms. You can do them at the same time and gain experience. So please like, comment, and subscribe. Did I code something inefficiently? Did I make a mistake? Could you see how something could be improved? Could we do anything better? Would you do anything differently in the code? Let me know, leave me a comment. We can all grow and get experience together, and everyone can ace those technical interviews. And I hope to see you in more videos, and we'll do this again soon. Thank you.